So unless you haven't noticed, it's been a very long time since the last upload. And the reason for that is partly because of school, and also because I was trying to figure out how to get everything underway, and also because I am a lazy fuck. Now, you might be wondering where we are in this, how complete we are. And the thing is, I did do a lot. Sadly, I couldn't record it because while it was cool to show, I mean, it wasn't really the most practical thing to film. But whether here nor there, let's actually take one little close look at it. Yeah, that's right. This is the completed chair. And you can even see that little fucker's on the top. Alright, so now if you look at this, the whole mechanism is actually quite simple, but what took it really so long was kind of getting all the circuitry set up. So as you can see, the Furby's up there, but the wires that go into the audio actually feed down here, all the way into this. Now this is an amplifier I found at a recycle center. This is a Crown D45, which honestly actually costs a lot these days. But I just found what I could and used what I could, and I desoldered that and took away all the unnecessary components to make it as simple as possible when it came to the mechanism inside. And on this side, this is actually simple too, but I also wanted to have kind of a board where I could place everything, so I got a power breaker. It goes down into here, and what's cool is I actually did a standard jack. I don't know if it can be seen right there. Ah, there we go. Standard wall jack. And basically, I made it so I could unplug this at will on the side. And that goes down from here down to here. Now this is where it gets kind of cool. By the way, the leg is screwed into there because when it was in transport it did get damaged. So I used metal to kind of use as kind of like a little bit of a support backup. Down here we have what basically drives this whole thing. Right here we basically have kind of like a little bit of a support structure, kind of backup support. It's not really the strongest, it's kind of flimsy, didn't really plan that out too well. Right here we have a speaker. This is what drives the whole unit. And so what's cool is it actually goes up into here and then goes out that way. You can see that it's connected right there. And then this is where the power output, the power input kind of goes into. So it all feeds in through here, which is really awesome. So yeah, that's the whole mechanism. What we're going to do now after this, and I might not show it too much, but what I'm going to do is I bought this fabric, and this, as well as everything right here, is going to be covered with the fabric, so it kind of isn't as like botchy in the back and forth. So it's easier to transport and it looks nicer, and I don't have to risk a little kid. Say if I was to actually put this in a gallery, I wouldn't have to worry about a kid kind of getting electrocuted. So anyway, yeah, let's move on to that. Alright, so I guess all things considered, this is probably going to be the shortest video because I've been doing a lot of shit off camera. But, yeah, I didn't really have time to really film any of it because let's just say that I'm also packing up for college today, so at the same time I'm finishing up this project. So anyway, you might be wondering what I did. And so, as you can see right here, this the device I'm filming on is about to die too, which actually is unfortunate as well, so I'm going to try to make this quick. I sewed all the way up to here, and the fabric was able to reach from here down all the way over there. So I was able to actually staple across the side on that end. But then a little bit of the sliver that was still open, I sewed together from here up to there on this. Now the bottom's a little bit different. I even actually have to sew. Instead what I did was I had one sheet going down this way, and then I had another sheet that I stapled going over this way. So it definitely saved a lot of time in me creating this, and I probably would be finished right about now. So, oh, one more thing, cosmetic, but this leg's about to actually break, even though I do have this metal support. So I'm going to try to insert a little bit more Gorilla Glue. Not like super glue, but like wood glue into there to try to get that fixed, situated, you know. And once that's done, that should be taken care of. After that, everything should be good. But before we film this or end this, I'm gonna have to create some slits right on my phone. But it's actually rather simple. I mean, I will say this: there's a lot of stuff I still need to do. Well, not a lot of stuff, barely anything, honestly. It's just really just hammering down these and making it slots where I can access like the most vital like stuff like the knobs and all that. But basically this is all done. What I did was, and I'm sorry I didn't film this, it just was such a tedious task that I kind of just did mostly everything off camera. Basically all around it I stapled it. I realized almost all the surface area, all it took was basically just, this was my attempt of spray painting the cloth, which really honestly I should have just used a dye, so I just kind of gave up and just used the white. I know, I shouldn't be giving up as much. But anyway, this surface area covered most of the back. I was actually left with this little sliver that I had to sew onto the side. And while that did take around 45 minutes to do, it ended up pretty good. I can't complain. And it really helped out this thing. And it kind of covered up everything right here. Now, this was even easier. This probably took around 20 minutes to do. But the bottom, basically, it had enough surface area to cover from here to here. So what I did instead of sewing the fabric was I did two layers. I did one going downwards and I did one going from here to here. And then after that I was pretty much set. But you might be asking, what is this over here? This happened a while ago, and around like shipping, or not shipping, but like I guess my parents were about to move this out of the house. And so it kind of got dropped, and then this happened. So I got a piece of scrap metal, I bent it in a certain way, and then I did that. But I realized recently that I did also have reinforced wood glue under here, and this kind of needs to be reapplied, but it should hold at least for demonstration purposes after this part right here. But anyway, these two layers are good. Again, I will have to hammer down some of these before it's actually presented at any sort of gallery or anything like that. But it's pretty much set in stone. This thing's done. Let me give you guys a good kind of example of it actually turned on and working. So yeah, let's get into that after I do that. Let's actually give this a test drive and have it fully operational so everyone can see the hell spawn. Let's try now. Yep, seems like it works. But let's try. Yep. So as of now, even though this does work, I only have one entrance right here for the power. I'm going to have to make one for turning up the volume and turning it down, as well as other adjustments as well. But for right now, this seems pretty good. Anyway, for those who tuned in to the past two parts of the series, thank you so much for, tuning into this shit. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, as I was saying, thank you for tuning in for this all, and hopefully someone else, I'm going to try to get this sold to someone, because I sure as hell would. My parents already are pretty disappointed in me making this, so. If you're down for this thing, totally hit me up. I loved making it. It was a pretty good experiment to, I guess, it really helped with my sewing skills and learning kind of like the basics of how to do it in different areas and all that, doing things up and down. This is all the full details. I think before I show it in a gallery or something, like that, I'm going to try to get these painted so they kind of look more like nails around here, or like talons or some shit. And then probably maybe I will try to carve that into like talons as well. But in the grand scheme of things, this is done. Again, thank you so much for listening, watching through every part of the journey, and I'm glad to have you with it. I'm glad to document this for other people to see. All right, see y'all around. Peace. You want to say something before we go? Yeah, he won't. Okay. I know, I'm tired too. Night, buddy. Night, everyone.